The year of madness continues for the Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome to the Jello Jiggling podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and now the Lakers are going to have a new owner. Mark Walter, who is the majority owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers for the last 12 years, and obviously he's been incredibly successful during that time with 2 World Series titles. He's the guy. He's shelling out $10 billion to buy this team from the Buss family. A family that has been super reluctant to sell the team or even entertain the thought of selling the team for a very long time. Jeanie Buss took over essentially as the head in 2013 when her father passed, and then Jesse Buss has been part of the process, and the whole dust up with other siblings that got a little messy. But now it's that era seems to be moving on. Kind of, because there is some small details in there which are extremely vague. I'm not quite sure how to interpret them in terms of time, but here we go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. So the Buss family is entering into an agreement to sell the majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter for a franchise valuation of approximately $10 billion. The most ever for a U.S. professional sports franchise. I mean, the Lakers just set the mark all the time, don't they? No matter what they do. The Buss family will keep the minority share of the team for just over 15% for a period of time. Now, I get keeping a little bit there, but a period of time, what the hell does that mean? Like, you're forced to sell it in 5 years or a couple years? Like, well, what? I don't get it. That's just extremely vague. And the vagueness continues with the next thing. In addition, Jeanie Buss will remain the Lakers' governor and continue to run the team for at least, this is in quotes, at least a number of years. Sources with knowledge of the deal told ESPN's Ramona Shelburne. That's vague as hell too. What the hell does that mean? It was a guaranteed part of the agreement that Jeanie Buss would remain in charge for the foreseeable future, and Walter fully endorsed this plan, according to sources. I don't know. I mean, I'm not crazy about this part of it because, like, if you're gonna buy a team, you're gonna want to run it your way, especially if you're coming from a successful background with the Dodgers, right? Who have just been killing it for over a decade with him at the helm. So, but it could be just like a nice transition thing. Give it time to transition in what Walter wants and his people. So it could be just, okay, right now, Jeanie's the governor running the team, but maybe that changes over the summer. Maybe that changes before next season, after next season. Maybe when LeBron retires and then they just kind of overhaul it and just totally go all in with Luka, which I think they're doing already. But it's an interesting wrinkle to all this. I don't, like I said, I don't understand it. I don't know why it's got to be like that. Is that them just not wanting to let go? Which I get. I mean, it's a family thing. It's it's a mom and pop shop. I think I saw somebody put on Twitter today. I just don't know. I mean, this, and then what happens? Okay, say they do, move on from Jeanie in a, kind of a nice way, so it doesn't look like she was forced out. Maybe that's what this is. And then who's next? Do you bump up Pelinka? Do you bring in a guy like Bob Myers? Which I think is interesting. But then again, you got two guys that are GMs and probably, I don't know if they can coexist. Him and Pelinka, I mean, what's Pelinka's? I mean, he just signed an extension. So what? I mean, what's his role? I mean, I don't know. There's just it's one of those things where it's news, it's big news, it's pretty substantial, it's dominating the headlines right now, and it probably will be for a few days, especially when things start to come out, because it's always like, the initial shock. Everybody's like, okay, this is what's going to happen, and then it's you see more details come out from other sources or news platforms, in the coming days. You know, I mean, this and then people are getting interviewed left and right. You know, phone calls are being made. Why did this decision get made? What was, you know, the motivation? Was this been in work for years, or like, you know, what's the deal here? Just because this leads to a lot of questions. So the Buss family has been in team ownership here in LA since 1979. He bought the team. Dr. Buss bought it for $67.5 million. He died in 2013, and Jeanie basically replaced him. I mean, it got ugly there with the siblings for a few years, and then that came to a head, and like another overhaul happened, and Palenka came in, and that's the way it's been since then. And then the LeBron era started, and it's just it's been a roller coaster ride. It hasn't been clean in any sense. I mean, yes, there was a title in there. There's a Western Conference Finals appearance, but it's been rocky. It's been questionable at best in terms of what they've done and the moves that they've made. And I mean, Westbrook is still unforgivable in my eyes. Still doesn't make any damn sense. But yeah, what direction do they go now? Like, are they going to go all out? I mean, the one thing that you could take from this is now you have a rich owner. I mean, Jeanie Buss is rich, yes, but she's not as rich as this Mark Welter guy who clearly knows how to run a franchise, right? And he's willing to pay. He's willing to pay. I mean, he's willing to pay $10 billion to get this franchise, first of all, and second of all, if you see what the Dodgers have done over the past decade, he is willing to shell out money, and it results in wins. 2 World Series titles, 11 NL West titles. I mean, he's not let you brag about, you know, NL West titles, but still. And then there's Magic Johnson, who knows this guy all too well because he's part of the ownership group with him, right? For the Dodgers. And I wouldn't be surprised he ends up with a piece with the Lakers at some point. So he said, or this is directly from Magic Johnson on Twitter. I think he had a few tweets. Mark Welter is the best choice and will be the best caretaker of the Lakers brand. The proof is in the pudding of what he's been able to accomplish with the LA Dodgers. Mark has been nothing short of a winner, notching 2 World Series titles, 11 NL West division titles in the last 12 years. I mean, that's a pretty damn good track record, right? And then, you know, the guys that he's brought on, Shohei, huge. Freddie Freeman, huge. Mookie Betts, huge. And then they're just getting all these guys, these pieces to the puzzle along the way. It's just, he's so willing to just shell out the money. You know what I mean? And then he got so much so where he's got, like, you know, Shohei to defer his money, right? It's I don't know if that's going to happen with the Dodgers. I mean, it's totally different with the way they pay players in baseball compared to the NBA, but I don't know. I think this is a positive. I'm not gonna lie. When the news came down the pike, it was initial like, oh man, kind of like a gut punch. Like the Buss family's not going to be running this anymore. At least, you know, whenever this time frame comes up. But I mean, they're not the owner anymore. They're not the big dogs. You know, it's not their franchise anymore. It's Walter's. So it's a change. It's a huge change. I mean, I've never known the Lakers without the Buss family. I haven't. it's kind of a trip, and it probably hasn't even really sunk in yet. I am kind of curious how things how the team runs in general, like PR and people that we as media have to deal with all the time. It'd be really cool if they made some changes there to take care of us a little bit better, but or just like, you know, get it functioning a bit more competently, I guess you would say. But I'm super curious. I wonder if what they're going to do to the arena. I know there's a ton of stuff already done in the arena. This has led to more questions than answers, I think. Obviously, you know, Magic's endorsement is huge because you always want to get, you know, somebody who's been side by side with this guy in this space, right? The ownership space, team ownership space, and get his, you know, 2 cents. Obviously, he loves the guy, and he said this. I put this on Instagram. a couple hours ago, I think. Yeah, 2 hours ago. Lakers fans should be ecstatic. A few things I can tell you about Mark. He is driven by winning, excellence, and doing everything the right way, and he will put in the resources needed to win. I can understand why Jeanie sold the team to Mark Walter because they are a lot alike. They are competitive people. I have big hearts. I mean, he screwed up there a little bit. Love, not, I mean, there's a little typo, so I just read over it. Big hearts, love to give back. Both prefer to be behind the scenes. This makes a lot of sense, or all the sense in the world. I'm so happy and excited for the Lakers fans all over the world. That's a hell of an endorsement for this guy. And I think the one thing I take away from this, because I remember the initial shock, I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh, Buss family's not going to be owning the team anymore. But I haven't really been super impressed with what they've done for a long time anyway. But even though I think Jeannie's a very, very nice person, I don't know about being an owner, right? Like if she's the greatest owner. But anyway, getting a guy in here with a track record for winning in the same city, and has deep pockets. I mean, he shelled out $10 billion for this team. That's insane. First of all, being the what did Chance say exactly here? I hope I'm not repeating myself because this is like the third take I'm doing because the dogs, garage doors opening, yada yada yada. Where is it? The most. Okay, so it's 10 billion approximately. They said the most ever for a U.S. professional sports franchise. Crazy. Lakers set the bar high again. He's willing to pay that. He knows it's a valuable asset. He knows it's successful. It can be incredibly successful. And he knows what he's doing. I mean, and then he's got Magic to lean on too, and I know Magic's, made some questionable. The Muscala for Zubac thing was a disaster. It's like one of his last moves too. But I mean, Magic knows basketball. He's gonna give his 2 cents, and I'm hoping it's not gonna, he's gonna push his way through. I think this guy Mark Walter has to be pretty sharp. You know what I mean to get where he's gotten. So, I just like the fact that because the tax bills and the aprons are scaring the crap out of a lot of teams, and Boston just sold their franchise for $6 billion, so they looked at the tax bill and they're like, oh no, I'm not paying that. Like, let's get out of this before we start losing money. But he's willing to dive into this, so that shows you right there. He's gonna take swings, and he's gonna pay for it, and he doesn't mind paying for it because he wants it. He wants to build a winner. And he's got a superstar that's 26 now, to build around for the next 10 years, right? He's got opportunities here. He's got some good, talented young players. And if he's aggressive and eager and willing to spend, I can't see that going in the wrong direction. Oh, I was just looking at some comment. But anyway, yeah, so I give this 2 thumbs up. I think this is a step in the right direction. Kind of sucks, the Buss family eventually won't be associated with the team, whenever that is, because that's super vague. But I think it's going to benefit this team in the long run, and that's what we all want, right? Like that's what we all need. If you're a Lakers fan, if you're diehard, if you're even a casual, you want these guys winning every year, and they've got a superstar to be the face of the franchise for the next decade. The LeBron era is probably coming to an end, I would assume, by the end of next year. I would think. That's just my guess. I don't know anything about that, but it's just the synergy there with the year 23 All-Star game in Los Angeles. Even though it's headed to a dome, it's basically the Lakers going to own that building. And it's, it just makes sense for him to walk away after either opting into his last year or doing another one-on-one or whatever he decides to do. Maybe he sees this new owner. He's like, oh, damn, I can get another, $100 million out of this guy. That wouldn't shock me. But I think this is something to be excited about, especially heading into the summer, because this guy's going to want to make a statement. Whenever these these super rich owners get involved and buy a team. They want to make a splash, right? I mean, the Suns owner is a perfect example of that, but he made some pretty questionable, probably stupid decisions to get his going. But hopefully, Walter is different. He's going with a smarter approach, and we'll see. I'm excited. I think this summer is just going to be insane. I think this is the big move for the start or the middle of the week. I think we keep waiting for KD to drop. We keep waiting for these rumors involving players that the Lakers are linked to, like Walker Kessler, John Collins now. I mean, there's all sorts of guys. It's the whole Austin Reeves situation. What happens with that? LeBron situation, which he's got till what? He's got what? 11 days to make his decision on his option or whatever. He ain't going anywhere. He's not retiring. It's just a matter of what he wants to do. And I one-on-one makes sense. I think that's probably the way he'll go, opt out and then just instantly sign a new contract. Hopefully he doesn't do anything crazy and try to secure the next 3 or 4 years or something. I'd be like, oh, jeez. But anyway, it's going to be a roller coaster ride continuing throughout the summer. Then you got the draft. I think, when is the draft? I think the draft is next week, I believe. And it sounds like, I think Windhorst said the other day that the craziness is going to happen probably before that rather than after it. So it could be a wild week. It really could. So this starts it off. Who knows where it goes from here? Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It's just, I mean, honestly, like, it's going to get to that point where I'm scared not to look at my phone when it buzzes. You know what I mean? Like, you have those down times where you just don't want to look. But I think it's going to get wild from here on out. I'm super curious to see how this guy runs his business, and see if he really is up to the task of dealing with the NBA and everything that comes with it. Because, I mean, obviously it's two completely different sports, but I'm sure Magic has helped him out in that sense, and giving him tips about how it is, and that's maybe why he made the decision to do this. But we will see, and I will see you guys next time. See you later.